So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As India's digital infrastructure continues to expand, cybersecurity has evolved from being an IT concern to becoming a cornerstone of national security as well as organizational resilience. Today, you name any critical thing like be it power, be it energy, or be it healthcare. It all depends on you need to have secure, trusted, and digital ecosystems. So today's distinguished panel brings together some of the India's leading cybersecurity practitioners who are safeguarding the digital backbone of the Indian PSUs. So we all look forward to an engaging discussion and also encourage our panelists to not only share their successes, but also the lessons they have learned along the way. So I'll move first to Dr. Sushil Kumar Meherji, who is the head health IT and CISO AIIMS. So sir, healthcare institutions have become prime targets for ransomware because if you see every minute of downtime directly affects the patient care. So how do you build a cybersecurity strategy that protects sensitive data without compromising the clinical efficiency? And also, there's a second question to that, like as we know, as hospitals are increasingly adopting, medical devices, telemedicine and AI-assisted diagnostics, what new cyber risk concerns you the most and how should the healthcare institutions like AIIMS prepare for them? Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you must be knowing that today's days, the most vulnerable domains is the healthcare. And healthcare has the lot of data, and it depends how the clinical performance will come up from the existing data. And each digital transformations, AI is playing the major roles. So data is the most important. And when we are talking about the cybersecurity in the healthcare, it has observed last 1 year, it has increased 24% of vulnerability in healthcare. So it is a big challenge right now. When we are talking about the resilience of this healthcare data, the bone vulnerability of the healthcare data is healthcare domain is data is the obvious, the more vulnerable than the identity. Next one is that what AI tool you are using it. The three things it is more important, and that has to be how it will be safeguard. We have to plan out. After the first attack, after the first or the only attack, we are more resilient on this, that how our data can be saved. And we have made cybersecurity IT policy documents in ready. If the policy is not ready, any things you will be installed, it will be installed through your policy only. And that policy you have clearly defined, because the resistance, if you put the policy without communicating to the top authority, it is very difficult to implement it. So if you have policies in place, for us to implement the policy much more easier. Second part is that healthcare work in different pattern, not as like in other domains. If you are given access to a particular record, he can access it. Other than that, it is not accessible. But doctor needs also sometimes that other records are required to be accessible. So immediately change the policy, it is a very difficult task. But when the culture has been developed, people have started to accepting it. Second part is that we have made our tools so robust. What is the exposure management tools we have used, and what is the operational cyber operational tools we have used. In the cyber operational tools, we have a lot of tools are there, but that is to be integrated and that is to be managed through CMOS or. So if you are EDR, you have, earlier you were talking about what? The three things, antivirus, then your access control, another one is your firewall. If three things are there, I am supreme. But today's days, it is not. Right now, you have a lot of activities not going within your four boundary of your wall. It is, you are exposed to the outside. And everybody is trying to do something bad actors are trying to do something for you. That has to be controlled centrally and actively and on time. When you have an attack, how to mitigate it, that's SOP must be made. What is the meantime response, RTO and RPO, clearly if you define it, definitely it will be easy for them. And when we are talking about the different IOMT devices, teleconsultations, telemedicines, all these things, we have done micro segmentation of networking. You have clearly defined that these are the out of our boundary, and that has to be taken care in different pattern. And that policy has been clearly defined. So that's why, see, IoT device is connected with this ventilator. Something is happened, it is the life risk of the patient. That has to be protected. A major problem of the ventilator is that all the ventilators of the support equipments, outdated operating systems. Some ventilator is working in Windows XP. Can you put it in our all the when cybersecurity tools on this? It is not possible to install it. That's why in the micro segmentation networking, what we have done it, you have made it outside, take the data, you can re-verify it. And the whole architecture we have made it zero trust architecture. Because without multiple verifications, it is not possible to enter to our network. Thank you.
So great highlight, sir. I think policy, the controls, and also the zero trust architecture, I think is phenomenal in terms of saving organization from the cyber threats. So I'd like to go next to Rajeev Kumar Pandey ji, who is the head IT and CISO EPIL. Sir, engineering projects typically involve a lot of people like contractors, consultants, and technology vendors. So how do you ensure the cybersecurity extends across the entire project's ecosystem rather than remaining confined within the organizational boundaries?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for PSU Summit organizer to give me opportunity to witnessing this event. Engineering Projects India Limited is basically a purely engineering-based company. Civil, electrical, mechanical is emphasizing all kinds of engineering across the world. But unfortunately, in last 12, 13 years back, we have secured a mega project which including all kinds of engineering, civil, electrical, mechanical. And first, that was our first breakthrough. We have secured our IT project in international border of 2 countries. After that success story, we entered in the IT market in India also, and now we are moreover in telecommunication business, data center business, IT, ICT, all kinds of business. Earlier we are compliant with the procedural aspect, but right now we are doing business in cyber security, emphasizing compliances also. We have certified 27001, and we have developed our framework for cyber enthusiasm. And as we are floating tenders, UIs, and publishing in different platforms, so we are there are so many stakeholders like contractor, consultant, clients are involving, and all must have to comply the cyber security phenomena and concepted. After that, we will do the third-party inspection of all our procedure in respect of cyber security, and after that, penetration testing of BAPT testing and other conceptual things to safeguard the business, safeguard the future opportunity, trust built in the current market, and compliance with the current market trends in respect of IT, ICT, and business. Recently, we have entered in telecommunication business, and we have presence, as an independent engineer, our presence in 9 to 10 states in North India with the premier leading communication agency BSNL. So we are proud of this. We are the part of IT and cyber theme of the nation also. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Sir, I have a follow-up question to that. Like, it's found in many of the organizations. Like, cybersecurity investments often compete with other business priorities.
Yeah.
So how do you demonstrate the value of cyber resilience to leadership in terms of be it continuity, be it business outcomes? So is it difficult for you to sometimes convince? Just wanted to
Very difficult for
hear your
us.
story.
Uh, Cyber resilience is a small investment rather than future incident of cyber attack and legal questioning by the clients and other entities, stakeholders of the nations. We are doing across the country all the government businesses. So our responsibility is high to answer the clients and maintain our uh, strategy and our image in the nation. And one thing more, cyber release is the typical, not more, but it's a small investment in the current market scenario. And we are facing business continuity and business trust in the nation and with the clients. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So I'll move to Shri Subhachanji. Yeah. So, sir, agriculture is, as we know, is rapidly embracing a lot of digital technologies, be it analytics, be it precision platforms, be it precision farming. So, as agriculture becomes increasingly data-driven, what are the emerging cybersecurity concerns, and also how do you protect the research assets and the national agriculture data, considering you're from ICR? Yeah, I just want to hear from you.
Thank you, Anshuman. Before come to your question, I would like to share my experience, what I have learned in last 3 decades. We are talking about the digital sovereignty and cyber resiliency. Right now, I think we have enough mature about the cyber security attack, threats, and all these things, thanks to the media and all this. Because issue is that we have to make for a general perception or for everyone, there is a risk. We have to understand that we are not secure at all. Nobody can claim. Every organization must accept that we can be any time breach. It is truth. The issue is that right now we are just talking about the cyber security and resiliency and all these things, but we are not talking about the psychologically impact and how we are going to restart our business in a minimum time. So that is the major things. Everybody, every organization can be under the attack. The issue is that how we are taking minimum time to restore our services to serve the nation and restore our services and give the message to the threat actor that we are back. So this is the main thing I think we should understand. It is not a stigma that you are attacked, that organization attacked. It should not be. It is a general thing right now. We must understand that one. And second thing is that if we are talking about the resiliency, we are talking about the business and what we are doing. But in my point of view, we should approach in the hybrid manner, just like we cannot rely on the totally digital service and digital infrastructure. We must have a hybrid approach, means if we are going to shut down our business in the IT, there must be a manual approach also or other alternate. Because it will help you, the resiliency of your business, no? It is not the cyber resiliency. It is the business continuity. How we are going to back, because if everything is under the attack, how we are going to run our business. In last day, you have heard that some time ago, airport pe jo issues hua tha. Everything was on the cyber. And ticket counter पे आपके जो लोग थे आपने वो हटा दिए. तो अब within a time, within an hour, you cannot train them. So I think hybrid approach always be there. And in agriculture, now come to your question, every organization have their own mandate. We have to understand what is important for us. And as a agriculture domain, our stakeholders are very different. It is from farmer to educationist and researcher, and you can industries also, and policymaker, and inter department, and their policies maker also. So we have to understand what is our mandate. Our core mandate is the agriculture, research and education. Okay. And I think the both field are in open platform, open public platform, because research is available and education is available for that. So what we have did for education and research are on the project base. So every researcher has their own data with them. Second thing is that if any project is come out and it is on mature and result has outgone, so there are something which we have to procure, protect, just like the gene and the genome data. So that is also on the silo and protection mode. Other than what we have learned and we are going to serve the public and the nation and the world, we are going to make it public. It is available on the public. Second thing is that the business continuity, it is the official work and the email and the system. We have, it is on cloud platform. So both the combination, there are a lot of, you can say approach, and we are going to resilient our organization and this thing for this approach without any single approach that this is the resiliency and this is the sovereignty, I think so. And second, last in, I want to submit, our Honorable Prime Minister always said, it is the collectively approach. It is sabka saath, sabka vikas and sabka prayas. Sabka prayas means each and every people and your stakeholder must contribute to make the resiliency system. So this is our approach, I think.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think you are balancing somehow like the open scientific collaboration that you are doing and also the protecting the sensitive research data and also the IP. So thank you for that. So I'd like to now go to Akshay Kumar Patel ji, who's part of NTPC. Sir, NTPC is, is rapidly embracing a lot of digital technologies across its ecosystem. So, so how do you balance securing the OT systems while driving greater automation and AI adoption across the power plants? And also I have a second question, like how can you integrate the government, PSUs and technology partners to strengthen the entire cybersecurity posture of India's power sector as a whole? So you comments on that, yeah.
Thank you. Good afternoon all. See, power sector, you can say, or power plant, or further each power utilities are part of a bigger power system. That means you have to protect each and every power station, everyone, because those are important. Now, what we are doing, first thing is, segmentation. Segmentation, why I say this is primary is because there will be attacks. There will be possibility of attack. Whatever we say, there will always be attacks. Now, if there is some attack, now if you can segment in such a way that same attack or same vulnerability will not have at same time, that means outage will not be at the same time. There may be forced outage. Now also we face forced outages due to mechanical failure, boiler tube leakage and all those things. Now we have to ensure that that failure should not be widespread. Localized failure we can endure. That is resiliency, it means we should not be affecting the power system in large scale. So primary thing is segmentation, and now we say that IT-OT connectivity or external connectivity. Actually, there is no external connectivity to our power plant now. It is only to IT system. And that way, you always find out what are the inward points like connectivity points. You say it is a power plant. One power plant will connect, external connectivity is only IT system. IoT, Patel, they are natively connected, directly connected to that. So those become an integral part of this. Now, you also said how you are going to new initiatives and all these things. Now, those new initiatives are separate unit. If they require connectivity to some OT system or IT system, that is taken at that interconnect level. So we treat everything as modular, so that there is no conflict of interest. We don't do whatever new project we take, we see what actually is this ins out of the system. In that very system, you know you are taking care, whatever is happening, it only can impact outside only at the internal points. Like you can say IT system, what are the inward points? Your email, USB, VPN system, or internet. Beyond that, there is nothing. Now, how do you secure your IT system? Probably by addressing USB, addressing email, addressing VPN, addressing internet. Now, if you secure all these things, probably you will be a bit assured that yes, things are working fine. Now, if something happens, you have to isolate things, isolate servers, isolate microsegmentation, as Sushil ji said. So all those things helps. Resiliency means our main aim is your business should continue. There may be hiccups, there may be small outages, but your business should continue. That's what we, resiliency as per our, we go with that approach. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I think power sector as a whole has undergone a lot of transformation. So I would say like I've spent my childhood in the power sector itself because my father was in a PSU who's now moved to NTPC. And so a lot of changes have happened. And thank you for your kind points on the same. And like to go to next to, just one second. Yeah, Vishnu Wagmare ji. Yeah. So, sir, like as like NTPC, ONGC also operates one of the India's most critical energy infrastructure, where the IT systems increasingly converge with the operational technologies. So as the infrastructure become more digital and interconnected, so how are you balancing the operational efficiency with the cybersecurity, number one? And second, what strategic investments have delivered the greatest improvement in cyber resilience? Like what kind of investment your organization have done in terms of improving your cyber preparedness? Just wanted to know that.
Thank you, Anshuman, for asking this important question. To start with, actually, you have rightly pointed out, there has been a convergence between IT and OT. And being a OT-driven organization, ONGC, our main thrust is, rather our bread and butter is OT. So we have got a IT policy in place since year 2008. But last 4-5 years, there has been thrust on. See, we were living on the understanding that there is a IT OT air gap, and our OT assets are that way isolated as such our air gap, and hence they are not prone to cyber threats. But over the period of time, you know that there has been convergence, and these OT assets are they are prone to the cyber threats. So the policy has been framed, OT policy, comprehensive OT policy. The controls are been is a mixture of all OT system controls that IEC 62443, then NIST. These all best of these and government guidelines. This has been taken into consideration while framing the policy. It has been inputs from CDAG also for OT specific. As you know that we are operating the wide processing plants across different geographical locations in India. And we have got a very old legacy OT systems, and we are having a challenges in terms of protecting them, because we have got a different vendor who have been provided this system over the almost last 4-5 decades, and they have been working. So this is one thing. Another thing about the going for the your investment part, which has we have got a comprehensive security operations center, which is operational in Delhi, 24/7. We are keeping close watch, and recently we are in the process of upgrading the SOC for our OT capabilities, and that is one aspect. And apart from that, we keep on investing in the people, which is one of the pillars of cybersecurity, that we make them aware by different conducting the phishing sessions, awareness workshops, and as others said that there are other like segmentation, these are already in place. Endpoint protection is already there, and we have got these tools, SIEM-SOAR, DAM, GRC, which are being implemented in our SOC. These are the things, these are the investments has given us much insights and continuous monitoring on the threats which are being thrown. Thank you.
So thank you for highlighting, sir. I think apart from the IT investment, the organizational changes in governance, be it culture or the workforce capabilities also have a biggest impact on strengthening your cyber resilience. So I'll move to now to Sanjay Kumar ji, CISO IRDA. So sir, as India's clean energy financing ecosystem grows rapidly, financial institutions like you are managing increasingly sophisticated digital transaction and sensitive financial information, I would say. So how has the cyber risk profile has evolved over the past few years, and also what strategic shifts have been necessary to stay ahead? If you can tell me about 5 to 10 years, whatever has happened in IRDA. Yeah.
Good evening. Thanks for the question. India clean energy space is witnessing unprecedented growth, and institutions like IRDA is playing a pivotal role in financing the transition. IRDA is a regulated entity regulated by RBI, and it is under the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. It is a listed institution, so we have to follow the RBI rules and also the SEBI LODR regulations. If you see, in earlier we used to protect our perimeter only. Now we have to do multi-level of security in our network. We need to implement the 24/7 monitoring, continuous monitoring through our security operations center. We also need to implement the multi-factor authentication across the network, and also to use the zero-trust network architecture. Along with, we have to see and monitor the privilege access management also. On top of it, the most important and vital part of the cyber security is cyber awareness. We need to make awareness across the organization about the cyber security. Cyber security अब ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ it is a work of only CISO vertical. It is for everybody responsibility in the organization. So for that, awareness is most vital part. And main is that you always try to adopt the new. What happening is now with the use of increasing AI, the attack surface is increasing day by day. So in that way, you need to adopt the more advanced and next generation security operations center like that. Then only you can protect your security. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I just one follow-up question, like similar to the same question I've asked. Like cybersecurity is often viewed as a cost center in most of the organizations. So how do you build a business case that positions cyber resilience as a strategic enabler in your organization to convince your leadership to invest for that?
Okay. Cyber resilience is very important for our organization because it is a listed entity and regulated by RBI. And building the customer trust and all the stakeholder trust is very important for us. Suppose there is some, you have not invested in your cyber resilience for cyber security and some incident happened, that it will cost you much heavy than your cyber cost if you have taken earlier preventive measure. So that way this becomes, earlier were days when people were thinking for investing in the cyber security. But now everybody understands that cyber security is very vital important because we need to protect the customer data. There is a DPDP rule also.
Yes, yes, sir.
So for that, if you are not investing today, you will face the consequence tomorrow, and that will be more disaster for you. So in that way, we are convincing our management and implementing the security.
Thank you, sir. So I move to now Shri Aishwarya Tiwari ji as part of the CRIS. So as we know, sir, CRIS supports one of the world's largest digital transportation ecosystem, serving millions of passengers every day. So how do you ensure the security while delivering seamless digital services at such an enormous scale? And also, second question pertaining to that is, how do you see AI changing the cybersecurity operations over the next 5 years, particularly in the mission critical public infrastructure?
So good evening. So CRIS is an IT arm of Indian Railways. So CRIS is involved in designing, development, and maintenance of all the IT applications of IR. So we have around 800 professionals. These are the developers, network administrators, system administrators, as well as the cybersecurity professionals. So what we do, say, if you want to develop an application, and that has to be ensured the having the cybersecurity feature, we have to enable the developers. So what we have done, we have a platform where developers can log in. The developers can make themselves aware about the application vulnerabilities, and then they can follow the secure coding practices. That is the one. Once that aware or that culture is created, we have technologies like SAS, TAS, and SCA, which enables developers to identify the vulnerabilities in their application at the early stage of the development. Once it is developed, it goes to the testing phase, where we have an internal audit as well as external audit. These audits are being done periodically, and specifically for very critical applications like IRCTC.co.in, where we have a quarterly audit. Apart from this audit, we have a quarterly cybersecurity steering committee meeting. So in a nutshell, if you see from the design to development to maintenance and the hosting of the application, security plays a very vital role. And without governance, you can't achieve anything, especially in the cybersecurity. Even after that, we are setting up a security operations center for entire Indian Railways. There we are integrating around 1.1 lakh devices from IR. That spans from one corner of the country to the other side of the country. So by this, we are trying to ensure that whatever application that is being developed, we are able to serve the customer or to the public at large 24/7 without any interruptions. Now, as far as the second part is concerned, what role the AI will play? So AI is already playing both sides. AI is already playing the role. So it is helping, one side it is helping the defender to identify the anomaly, to generate early signals for any malicious activities or breach. Other side, it is also assisting the offenders who can breach into your system as early as possible. So what AI has done primarily, it will lower down the barrier of a skill set to breach or to breach any of the critical infrastructure. So now in next 5 years, what will happen? Both sides of the coin will start using AI. One will use it for the defending purpose. Other will use it for the breach, targeting the critical infrastructure. And that is not something new for AI. That is common for every other technologies which has come up. So every technology has both these two coins. Now, as a defender, we have to use AI to protect our infrastructure, applications, systems. AI will play a very vital role in terms of early, as I said, it will play a vital role in early identification and basically identification of any anomaly in the network or as well as in your applications.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your points. So now I'd like to move to Shri Saurav Sharma ji, who is the part of Petronet Energy Limited. So the LNG sector sits at the intersection of industrial operations, logistics, and also the national energy security. So what unique cybersecurity challenges arise from protecting the OT environments alongside traditional IT ecosystem?
Yeah, as you rightly said that Petronet LNG is a critical energy provider for the energy requirement of the country. and recent geopolitical scenarios is become more critical because more and more cyber attacks are happening on the energy sector companies. As you say, basically, the major challenges in cybersecurity, so securing our cyber interface along with the operational technologies. The major challenge is that the operational OT network are basically their refresh cycle is very long refresh cycles. They usually you deploy it for 15 to 20 years with the legacy ecosystem, legacy protocols they are using, and they have a very limited or very restricted downtime availability for patching, for upgrading, and they are very much dependent on their OEMs who have provided the OT technology. This is the major challenge we are facing in securing the network. For overcome this, basically we have created a task force which not only including IT and cyber security, it also includes plant peoples, instrumentation, operations, so that we can get a window in between their operations without disrupting continuation of the producing the product. So that we can patch it regularly, we can have a continuous interaction with the OEMs of the OT network, so that we can get the latest patches whenever they are released. These are the major challenges we are facing, basically for securing our OT network. Because, as Bagmare sir has said that earlier OT network is air-gapped from the IT network, but due to the convergence and due to demand of the analytics from the business side, it is more and more integration with the IT network. So we have to be very cautious by opening all the ports between IT and OT networks.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Sir, also wanted to understand like how you are strengthening the cyber resilience across the partners, vendors, and also the third-party service providers within the energy ecosystem. So if you can highlight.
Yeah, see, basically nowadays you cannot work in a silos. You are dependent on the third-party vendors and ecosystem. Like in OT, in our OT environment, our OT system are heavily dependent on the OEMs of the OT technologies. So basically we have to secure each and every life cycle events of the from onboarding to offboarding the vendors. So while doing the due diligence before onboarding the vendors, then basically sanitizing them about our IT policies and our requirements, specifically the risk, basically the vendors which are more risky, which deals directly or are taking the remote access of our OT networks. Giving them a limited time periods, giving them limited access to our network using Jetty and a Zero Trust network. And then after completing of the work, the offboarding is also basically a critical aspect, because we have to timely disconnect all the access we have given to them for doing the work. And thus we are basically securing each and every step of a vendor onboarding to offboarding cycles. So it's very critical to have a third-party assessment of basically for our vendors, for our partners, our ecosystems, and it is a regular practice to have a reassessment. We cannot have a basically rely on a one-time cybersecurity questionnaire before onboarding the vendor, but we have to do a reassessment at a regular intervals. And as DPDP Act is in place, so it's very critical also to have any customer data shared with them. So that they can have a secure process for estimate the data along with them, their technologies and their infrastructure. So we have to make it ensure that each and every part of our ecosystem is secured. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your points. Like I'd like to move to now Sunil Sarohaji as part of YOTA. So as we know, sir, cybersecurity is no longer just about protecting infrastructure. It's also about ensuring the business continuity. And with a lot of AI transformation, like how do you see the cloud providers evolving their role from being just not technology vendors, but also becoming strategic alliance partners for the government organizations as a whole?
Thank you, Anshuman.
And sir, one more question is there, like, and also I'd like to highlight what are the biggest cybersecurity concerns you hear from the government and PSU customers today when you meet them? Yeah.
Sure, I'll start with the first question. What is the role of CSPs? So it is actually, it presents a unique opportunity for CSPs like us to transform our roles from being mere infrastructure providers to become a strategic resilience partners for the government organizations. Because you see, cybersecurity is now tied up very tightly to national security, sovereignty, and continuity of citizen services. Right? Government and organizations today do not debate about which cloud to choose, but they're looking out for cloud providers who can help safeguard the national digital assets. Why? Because AI, as it is used so largely now, the threat landscape has also evolved, which means the cyber threats that are happening today are much more faster, much more intelligent, and highly automated. The attackers today are using AI to to launch a phishing campaign, to search vulnerabilities in the system and ultimately execute the attack. So in this scenario, cybersecurity is no longer a standalone function. It is not an isolated function, but it has to be embedded in the very core of your IT infrastructure. It is no longer a good to have kind of thing, but a must have today. So in this scenario, CSPs plays a very important role where they want to transition themselves from being an infrastructure provider to a resilience partner. They are expected today to save the government organization's infrastructure from right from anticipating threats, learning from the patterns, detecting and mitigating threats real time, responding quickly to the incidents, and very, as like at least said by somebody, to recover from the incident if they happen, right? So CSPs play a very important role because all of these citizen services at the end should be up and running 24/7. So in this scenario at YOTA, we begin by providing a sovereign infrastructure, wherein not only the data is localized, the data resides in India within the boundaries of India, but at the same time, the government of India has absolute and full control of the data and the operations of the data centers in India, which ensures compliance to all the government regulations and adherence to all the regulatory frameworks that has been led by the government of India. We have been along with look at it as an indoor stadium when I call sovereignty, in which we play our game, where we provide compute infrastructure, AI infrastructure, security services, managed services to manage the entire ecosystem, plus the BCP and DR capabilities in case of incidents. So at YOTA, we begin by giving a sovereign infrastructure. Right? So we have given our expertise and capabilities to Government of India via India mission, where we are serving the largest made in India LLM, Sarvam, and Bhashini, which is an NLP platform, which is Mighty initiative. And we will be serving one of the most critical applications of the Government of India, the most critical citizen services via NIC from Meghraj 2.0. So to summarize, the Indian CSPs have a very important role to play, where they want to transition from just being an infrastructure player to be a strategic resilience partners for the government and PSUs.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've got the second question. What are the main concerns?
Yeah.
So very quickly, I think as Sir said, earlier having a perimeter firewall, having an endpoint security, and you're done with it. That was the whole feeling all around it. But but the concerns now are actually much more mature, much more strategic in nature. The key concern for any organization is to keep the citizen service up and running. So disruptions is the major concern that everybody is interested to control on. So of course disruptions from ransomware, from attacks. So that is one. So second is sovereignty and compliance. So this requirement or a concern is now increasingly gaining momentum, because this is also coming from the government of India, where you want to have your infrastructure, your digital assets and your data within the boundaries of India. So sovereignty and compliance is what every organizations that we are today talking to are concerned of, and they want partners who can give an infrastructure which is sovereign, which can be governed and which complies to all the government norms. The third, which is actually which I think will continue to grow, is the hybrid environments that we build. Because imagine a company which started 25 years ago and accumulated data over the years and has built pockets of infrastructure, of course. So imagine somebody started with a physical infrastructure, right? Adopted cloud, have some properties on cloud. Then came mobile applications, which probably may or may not be in that infrastructure. Then you add APIs, applications calling other applications via API. You add IoT devices, and currently now the AI infrastructure to be integrated into all of this. So it becomes, so every device or a service that you add in the ecosystem is a potential entry of a threat, right? So to manage all of these pockets, every organization would need a unified security platform so that they cut across all these services, which are probably scattered and sometimes disconnected. So that is one of the concerns. So every organization would need a security framework that cuts across. At Yota, we built a security platform called Suraksha, which is right from the perimeter security to the endpoint, includes threat intelligence, include identity security, application security, covers all the aspects of it under one roof, right? The third and the lastest is I think the skill and the operational readiness. Every organization, when they start a security practice, have people to cater to those security services. But then the way the security landscape is evolving, the threats are becoming larger. It is very important for organizations to have a skilled manpower, that is one, and to get those people upskilled almost on a daily basis, because the threat is also evolving on a daily basis. So from an operations perspective, it is always like, you cannot build a security framework only with tools. It requires people, processes and tools, right? So for a CSP like us, it comes naturally to us, because because we are the ones who are first being attacked. We host so many customers with us. We are the ones who are the first ones to attack, and we are the first ones to mitigate those threats. So every organization today needs a security operations center, which probably is running, of course, is running 24/7, with a set of people who get upskilled every day, almost every day. So I think that is a concern or an ask for every organization today. Nutshell, every organization or government organization would need a sovereign infrastructure as a base, and operational efficiency or operational no disruption, which is the ask, because every disruption which happens impacts now people directly. It impacts citizen services. Probably there is a delay in availing citizen services, and eventually leads to erosion of public trust on the government services. So I think these are the major concerns that every organization currently handle.
So thank you, Sunilji. Thank you for sharing your knowledge and enlightening all of us. And we are just on time. And I would like to thank you, each and every panelist, for sharing your time, coming here and giving your views. It was really an insightful discussion for all of us. Any questions? I think we are just on time, but I think no one. Yeah, we can conclude now.